Hello, hello. I thought about pre-recording this one and then posting something today. And then I stopped myself and thought, why not just go live and talk about this? It leaves zero opportunity for me to second guess myself, to judge the words that I'm going to say, and to show up with true authenticity. So here I am. I decided to go live, and I'll download this later and I'm going to end up putting it up on some other platforms as well. But what's going on, friends of Facebook? I have a topic that I want to talk about right now that just came up in a conversation that Mike Prince and I just had as we are continuing to plan and organize our experience that we have coming up in Costa Rica here, April 24th to the 28th. It's so amazing to see all of these pieces just falling into place, and to also witness some of the areas where we're finding resistance, where we're seeing that there's an old version of us that are saying, ooh, geez, that sounds risky. I don't know if we can do that, but this is who we are choosing to become. Let's lean into this. And this is the thing, is that this idea of investing in yourself, investing in your business, investing your money into opportunities that can continue to grow, that's the topic that we're talking about here. And there was a number of things that have come up and thoughts that are coming to mind, but I'm going to read this out really quickly first. So this is a post by a friend of mine, Lewis Howes. Some of you guys might know him. I just saw this on Instagram actually, and it was very fitting, and it was one of the things that had me go, yep, it's time to talk about this. So the post says this: to reach your potential and help others at your full capacity, you have to first appreciate your worth and invest in yourself. You've got to fill yourself up first. You've got to take care of your health, your mindset, and your energy. Think about that for a second. Now, a lot of times when we hear the word invest, what we think of is buying stuff, whether it's physically, properties, vehicles, investment in the stock market, whatever it might be. We automatically default to money. But what about investing in ourselves? And then when I ask that question, what comes up for you? Do you think about investing in yourself as an investment that can compound and accelerate your growth in all aspects of life? Not just in the physical, for example, like you might invest in yourself and invest in a gym membership and say, I'm investing in myself. And naturally, you'll see the growth of your physical body if you choose to lean in and actually do the work. But what about investing in ourselves in all aspects of life? Investing in, eating better and consciously choosing the food that you're buying, even if it might be a little bit more expensive, but knowing that the fuel that we put into our bodies directly impacts the output that we're able to give in our lives, whether it's having more energy during the day or at the end of the day, if you're coming home from work or your business or whatever, and your kids are demanding your attention. How does your investment in yourself, nutrition-wise, actually pay dividends in the long run? How does investing in yourself feed all of your desires? Another topic that came to mind when Mike and I were talking was, he mentioned that he had a friend over this weekend and they were talking about some things that he was navigating in life, and the fact that there was a baby on the way. And because of that understanding and knowing that, okay, I know that within 9 months, all things working out perfectly, that there's now another human in this world that I get to take care of. Does that mean that all of our focus and energy should go towards investing in that? Or should we invest in ourselves, knowing that that little human requires us to be the best versions of ourselves, to actually take care of them? It's not about buying the house and buying the stuff and all of that kind of stuff. It's about, how do we continuously grow? How do we keep filling our cup, as this quote talks about? And I've been in this situation before, and I know Mike has as well. In fact, he's in it right now. He just made a big investment in himself, something that on the surface, some people might go, whoa, that sounds risky. Why would you invest in that? There's no guaranteed return on investment from that, from a business standpoint or a money investment standpoint. But ultimately, he made an investment in himself to level up his understanding and his way of being as it relates to the breath journey and going within for the answers and surrounding himself, choosing to surround himself with people that are also on that similar journey and are also choosing to go in that direction and to invest in themselves, not just the money, but also the time. And I know for me, my personal story on this is that in 2018, we had our second child, Bodhi, and he came 4 months early. So it was not planned, but I still remember, and this is the story. In February of 2018, I spent about $3,000 to go to San Diego to go to a conference, which I never actually even went into the rooms. It was more just for the networking side of things. But I also went to a mastermind with a guy by the name of Scott Oldford, who was somebody that I had been conversing with a little bit online and found some admiration for as to how he was showing up in his life. Yes, of course, he had a track record of building businesses, and I thought, wow, that's admirable. I'd like to mirror what he's doing, but it was more him and his presence than anything. And I knew that if I got into that room, that the people that I'd be surrounded with would naturally just elevate me, because when I walked into that room, I felt like the dumbest person in the room, and I also felt like I shouldn't be there. And then I showed up with vulnerability and honesty and truth and told everybody in that room what was really going on in my life, which was I was burning out. My business was really doing well, but I didn't feel satisfaction in it. I was questioning the growth and thinking like, why am I trying to scale? Why am I trying to grow? What is the purpose of all of this? Is it so that I can have more time freedom to be a better dad and a better husband to my wife? Well, it was totally contradictory of itself. So I thought that by growing my business that I'd be able to do more of that. As soon as I have this, then I can do that. That's the biggest false statement that exists in this world. This isn't as soon as this happens, then I can do that. It's a both conversation. You get to do both. You get to invest in yourself and you get to be there for your family, to provide for them, to be present for them, to elevate those around you. All of it. And at that time, I had taken out a loan of $100,000 through BDC. So I had already gone in and received the confirmation that, yep, you have this loan. And I went to that mastermind with the idea that I was going to invest in myself. And that was the first time in a long time that I had invested in myself. And I didn't even know what the dollar value might be. But in that case, it was about $7,500 US a month on a 12-month contract to be inside of this community, this program, this mastermind, whatever you want to call it. It was kind of defining itself as we went. And I said, I'm in, let's do this. And I dropped the first bit of money. And then I remember 2 weeks later, Bodhi was born, and he was born 4 weeks early. And we spent the next, 4 months early. And we spent the next 4 months in the NICU. So at that time we were living in Burnaby, BC. Our kid was born in New Westminster, which is about 30 minutes away from Burnaby. So every day after work, I would go to the NICU and I would spend like 3-4 hours a night with Bodhi, holding him when I could, feeding him when I could. And then I'd go home and I'd rinse and repeat. And it was a grind. There's no doubt about it. My wife was there during the day. So both of us were there for good long stints every single day. And I still remember this to this day, that there was this massive, overwhelming feeling coming over me of like, what the hell did I just do? I just invested almost $100,000 in a program. And now I have a child that was born very prematurely, where I had every opportunity to go, guys, I got to get out of this. Like, you need to give me my money back. I need to back out here. I need to go and serve my family. I should be using this money to support my family. And those guys never tried to convince me otherwise. They didn't say, no, you can't do that. But instead, they held space for me to really see what it was that I was committing to, which was to elevate myself. That investment was in me. Yes, there was a lot of business coaching that was going on. Yes, there was a lot of affirmation that, hey, guys, I think I'm going to do this, 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 and this. And they'd go, yeah, that sounds great. Hey, maybe consider this. That was ultimately what I thought I was investing in. But really what they were doing was holding space for me to make a conscious choice to say, I'm investing in me. And I believe that this investment in me will pay off exponentially. It will compound over time and even in the short term. So in that moment, I said, I'm still in on this. And I'm going to put in my daily work, and I'm going to go to the hospital every single day and be with my son and make sure that he knows that I'm there and get the skin to skin and feed him and all of that. And I leaned into it because that was what I believed I should be doing. And it proved it to myself. I proved it to myself. That was the right move. Was it scary? Yes. Did I have moments where I thought I should be investing this somewhere else, somewhere safer? Of course. Was that the belief that I actually had to shift as a part of being that program? 100%. It was the thoughts in my head that something outside of me will actually create the happiness and the security and remove the fear. It's not true. It's all an inner game. All of this. You want to live that life that you've sat down and thought very, very clearly about that life that you want in the future. It begins now with the choices that you make on how you invest in yourself. Not in the crypto markets, not in the real estate markets, not in anything else other than, are you committed to being a different person? That higher version of yourself that already exists when you actually just slow down and recognize all of the signs that are in front of you. It's all right there. It's just that we put up these blocks in front of us that say, nope, that's not real. I couldn't possibly come to Costa Rica in April. It would be selfish of me to go to Costa Rica in April and leave my family back at home because I want to go on a vacation. Well, you're already in the wrong mindset to even be here. So I would say to those people that are thinking that, don't come to Costa Rica for our experience. But if you're ready to challenge that belief and actually lean into this truth that when you invest in yourself and you surround yourself with the right people and you actually go deep on the inner work and you challenge what you believe to be true, that future dream life that you desire, it exists already. It's just waiting for you to step into it. Now, an old version of myself would have heard that and thought, yeah, that's just insane. Here's the truth. Here's the reality in front of me right now. I'm having a baby. I just spent this money. I need to get it back because I need to do the safer decision. I can tell you from personal experience that that is the opposite of what a person needs to do. You get to be selfish about how you invest in yourself, because unless you put that mask on first and commit to your growth mentally, spiritually, physically, none of these other things have the opportunity to manifest into reality. They just don't. You have to come first before your relationship, before your parenting, before your business. You don't invest in you, the rest of it, you're crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. And history tells us that when we hope, we don't actually get what we want. We get exactly what we're supposed to get, which usually means that we get a reality check to say, hey, wake up. It's time to invest in yourself. Because when you do, everything else around you grows. What we invest in grows. And that's what I got. So thank you for listening. If this resonated for you and you want to dive deeper into this, or you want even me to clarify some of these things that I just talked about, because let me be clear, this work is not comfortable. You got to get used to and get comfortable in that uncomfortable space. And there's lots of tools and there's lots of modalities to be able to do this. But one of the biggest unlocks is to get around other people that are also leaning into this. And we've got 10 guys in an inner circle right now that are doing just that. We have 3 of those guys that have already said an emphatic F yes, I'm going to be in Costa Rica. Now, 2 of those people were telling themselves stories a month ago that they couldn't even see how it was going to be possible. And in just 1 month, they've created a different story. And now they're in on themselves. And there's more that will continue to show up. I just had a call the other day with a guy who has just been resonating with what I'm saying. And he's also felt it. He was like, I need to be there. I don't even need to know what you guys are up to there, but I just feel like I need to be there. It's an energy thing. And now he's in as well. And these are the kind of people that are showing up on this retreat/experience that we have planned. And there's going to be more information coming because I know all of our 3D ego minds want to know, what are we actually doing each one of these days? And we're going to drip out pieces of that just so everybody understands exactly what we're up to here, because it's truly, truly magical. And the way that it's all falling together, and also the resistance and the challenges that we're running into, it's all perfect. It's all perfect. But are you going to be somebody that invests in yourself and shows up to that? Or are you not? Maybe it's in a year, 2, 5, but can you afford to wait? That's the question. Have a good day.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Trevor Turnbull Show. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please consider subscribing on my YouTube channel, as well as on your favorite podcast platform. So until next time, remember, today is a beautiful day of opportunity. Trust that you are exactly where you're supposed to be. So be grateful, be curious, and be brave.